Ankur's speech is titled Thorns and Roses. Ankur's was an arranged marriage. They never met each other before, and everything happened within 3 weeks. Ankur believes that marriages are made in heaven. Ankur Bora, Thorns and Roses.
One of my favorite quotations is by Alphonse Karr. Some people are grumbling because roses have thorns. I am thankful that thorns have roses. The statement alludes to the duality of life. Life, like the two sides of a coin, alternates between positive and negative, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, the roses and the thorns, all in one place. The question is, do you grumble because of the thorns, or are you thankful that despite thorns, the roses exist? We, the human beings, like to take control of life and feel comfortable with the things that we are familiar with. When I was leading a bachelor life, I cared only about myself, what I like, what I enjoy doing. But when I got married, I experienced many changes. Some brought joy, while others challenged my patience and sanity. Friends, the duality of life was in full play. Ours was an arranged marriage. We had never met each other before, but the marriage, it was almost a marriage made in heaven. After our wedding, we landed in Atlanta, a city with rich history, dazzling skyscrapers, and the image of hosting the 1996 Olympics. The city was also a natural paradise, surrounded by magnificent mountains, the lustrous lakes, and the enchanting dogwood trees. The picturesque, lively city looked like an illustration straight out of a fairy tale, and we had the most memorable year together. Then we got a chance to visit India for a month-long vacation. Since it was our first visit from America, there was a lot of excitement. My wife began shopping 3 months ahead of time. She went on a lengthy shopping spree and ended up with pile of luggage, suitcases, large, medium, small, carry bags, handbags, gift bags, shopping bags, you name it. Even on the morning of that departure, she disappeared, only to come back with a huge teddy bear. When I loaded the stuff in the taxi, I was exasperated by the sheer volume of it all. And when we reached the airport, we found that a carry bag had been left behind during that commotion. I just wanted to forget it. But my wife cut me off. What do you mean? All the gift items for my best friend are there. Do you understand? She was so off by herself that I had no other option but to call a colleague of mine who drove me back to the apartment, helped me to find the carry-on, and then we rushed back. He was quite helpful, but when he came to know the real reason behind the mischief, that guy went bonkers. Why did you let your wife push you around? And he continued his outburst till we reached the airport. We hurriedly checked in and caught the international flight in the nick of time. But the drama continued throughout international, regional, domestic airport and at the destination, as I again had to carry the suitcase, the handbags, the carry bag, the shopping bags, from cart to the trolley, from the shuttle to the taxi. It was as if I was carrying thorns, spines, prickles, all jabbing me left and right everywhere. But the story had a happy ending. When we arrived home, we were greeted by my wife's relatives with warmth. All the gifts items were received with excitement and everyone was happy. My wife also carried gifts and memorabilia to my parents and brothers, which she had decorated by herself. I was moved by her attention to the minutest details. Those were small memories, but taken together, they constituted the string of joy that we felt throughout the trip. I still savor those moments. Yes, there were thorns in the forms of shopping bags, but her affection, her generosity, her warmth outshone them all, and my wife stood radiant as a bright rose. We came back after 1 month. When I returned to work, my colleague, in front of others, began narrating the airport incident. Although he said just joking, I could feel the undertone of sarcasm in his voice. I wanted to tell him the happier side of the story. But I stopped because I knew he was someone who could only see the thorn and grumble. But unlike him, I distinguished myself by getting past the thorns and reached for the roses. That realization made me euphoric, and I stood there smiling. Friends, there are two sides to life: the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, the roses and the thorns. But like a coin, only one side is visible at a time. During the time of crisis, we should not despair or lose hope, because the other, brighter side is hidden temporarily. 20 years back, I was able to let my focus off the thorn, and I was rewarded with roses, bright, beautiful, radiant. Friends, it has worked for me, and I imagine it might just work for you if you let it be. Madam Toastmaster.